as the clocks chimed on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, the guns on the Western Front in France and Belgium fell silent. World War I had ended. Today is a time to remember with gratitude and respect for the courage and persistence displayed by our service personnel in the face of danger. We remember by gathering together today and by continuing to adhere to the traditions of our past. One of these traditions is in our wearing of the red poppy. American Naomi Mitchell read the moving poem In Flanders Fields and was the first to wear a poppy as a symbol of the sacrifices made by millions of people in World War I. We remember that following the declaration of war in July 1914, the changes it brought were some of the most dramatic in the history of mankind. As we remember, we should think of the Australians' first engagement of World War I, which was at Rabaul in September 1914. We remember that on the 1st of November, 100 years ago, our first troops from Australia and New Zealand left their last port of call in Australia, when they departed from Albany in Western Australia, bound for Egypt and the bloody battlefields of Gallipoli, the Western Front and the Middle East. Today we also remember not only more than 60,000 Australian defence personnel who lost their lives in World War I, but 40,000 who have lost their lives in other armed conflicts such as World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq and Afghanistan, the latter including one of our own Bellingen residents in 2007, Sergeant Matthew Locke, MG. We remember all those who survived these conflicts but have been physically, mentally or emotionally affected. We remember our RAAF pilots currently flying missions over Iraq and our SAS soldiers who have just entered Iraq again, and the many of our countrymen and women who are also working to help bring stability to regions by working in mentoring roles and also humanitarian roles. Finally, we pause to remember that peace throughout the world is a very fragile thing, and there are a number of regions of simmering tensions. We can do our part by supporting those who are actively engaged in trying to make our world a safer place. And we can support our family, friends and neighbours and community who are all in all aspects of daily life so that we can live together in harmony. On this day 12 months ago, I, with the Mayor, unveiled this pine tree here, which was grown from seeds from the remaining lone pine at Plateau 400 in Gallipoli. That original tree was a symbol of hope for the soldiers because through all the horrors of war and in all the conditions, it survived. Today we gather here and see that our tree has grown. Our tree connects us to our past and our traditions and helps us remember with gratitude the legacy of freedom gifted to us. Whilst we remember and in maintaining our traditions, I will shortly recite in Flanders Fields' poem. The fighting on the Somme in northern eastern France and into Belgium was bitter and bloody. Before whole landscapes were destroyed by intensive shelling, red poppies danced in the breezes. These scenes stirred a Canadian medical officer called Major, as he was then, McRae, to write his very moving poem as he reflected on the death of a friend in battle. In Flanders Fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the lark still bravely singing, fly scarce heard among the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Field. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. It is important that we know our history so that we can learn from our past and it is important to maintain our traditions, which is why I'm very pleased to see and welcome the children of Bellingen Public School today. It is you children who will continue our traditions and help to uphold the values of the original Anzacs. In northern France there is a school which was built with funding donated by the children of Australian men who fought at the Battle of Villers-Bretonneux on the 24th of April 1918. Using great skills and courage, these men were able to do what other armies could not, free the town from their invaders. A plaque outside the school states in part, "May the memory of the great sacrifices in a common cause keep France and Australia together forever in bonds of friendship and mutual esteem." The children learn of the sacrifices made from their ancestors by Australian soldiers, and they continue to honour those soldiers, including the 1,200 who died in the struggle to liberate their town. Australians in ever increasing numbers visit the town and school and give their support. This is an important example how a very special bond has been forged from the great tragedy.